Hey, g'day, hyvää huomenta, dzień dobry, comrade subscribers. So it's Saturday morning, had some rain overnight, but maybe blue skies today. I've had the hot water boost on, so I've definitely got hot water for today. So it is a little cooler. It's, what is it? 22, 23. Sorry, so I'm not wearing my glasses, so it's a little blurry. On the Wanson's Electricity House. Should actually look up to see if they still exist in Darwin. So we'll continue on with this. So I've sorted out I've refurbished. I've fixed the on-off switch, but I'm going to replace that with a modern version. Not sure which one it was, but it's working now. So I'll probably just bridge the power there. Good morning to the elephants above. I'll remove the regulator so that I can get this heat sink off. I'll remove this shield here so I can get the 6560 out. Then I'll be able to give the board a good wash. I'm going to pull apart the keyboard so that I can give the keys a good clean and also replace those broken ones. So that's the plan, and then I'm going to go do some other stuff. So I've been preparing. I'm going down to Sydney on Sunday, so I've promised the Australian Computer Museum some donations. So I'm going to give them a Moldovan Byte computer, a whole bunch of Hewlett-Packard Series 80 stuff, and some. Oh, there's Hanush, my little huntsman friend. So yep, so I need to finish all that stuff off. So yep, better get started. I've got the regulator off, just for the RF shield. So I've added some fresh solder, and just, well, this is the way I do it anyway. Heat it up. Just a tiny little bit of, remove it, lift it up from the board a bit, wait for the solder to cool down in place. So now we've got a little gap there, and then just go around and just ease it off, like so. Just getting a little wedge in. Okay, a little bit more. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to do that, and then that board will be ready for a nice clean. We'll go onto the keyboard. The shield off. So I don't know. 6560 gets quite hot, so I don't know if that really helps with heat. I don't know. Maybe it does. Something to test. One interesting fault that I have actually found that wasn't documented is a slow startup. So it takes, rather than being kind of, a second or two, it takes like a minute before the machine boots. And that was down to this timer here. So I think this is a 555 timer, and that holds the 6502 in reset for a couple of seconds whilst everything is kind of initialized, like the RAM and stuff. And this 1 microfarad electrolytic here was actually out of spec. I think it was something like 10 microfarads or something like that. So I replaced it, and boom, it booted up straight away. So that was an interesting fault there. Just need to fix that leg. I kind of broke that leg earlier. Not to worry. So yeah, that was an interesting fault. Let's see. So there we go. Put that safely aside. So I'll probably, I'll remove the 4700 as well. But yeah, so that'll be ready for a good clean. Get rid of all that dust. Oh, that's interesting. And then we'll do some troubleshooting. Okay, next let's get the keyboard ready. I don't usually show this bit because people get grumpy, but here we go. Got some detergent on there, got some hot water, got my anti-static brush for what it's worth. So oh yeah, nice. I'm gonna give this a scrub and leave it out in the sun to dry. Okay, screws are done. So we can now give the case a clean. So I just need to remove the LED. Sometimes I like to replace it with, like, say, a modern blue one. I know that can be controversial. Just need to get this little locking ring off. You can push the LED through and push the LED holder through. Careful not to remove the label. There we go. So there we go. So this case is ready for a good clean as well. Doesn't need retro brighting or anything. And we'll keep this for later. Maybe replace it. Let's see. That with the screws. So with these, you can obviously use a key puller is better. Key comes off. Got your spring. Don't lose that. But yeah, so you just need to desolder the shift lock. Pull those out so you can get the key out, or the key switch out. And then obviously use a little screwdriver to undo all of these ones. So let's do that now. That's done. You can push it through, I think. There we go. Very gentle. Okay. Another key to be washed. So, yep, let's undo all these tiny little screws now. Okay, I think that's all of them. That comes off. There we go. Yep, that all looks pretty good actually. So, put that aside. So here's all the key, the plungers. So, get those. All right. These are the broken ones. So there's a couple of different types of key plungers on the VIC, or probably on the Commodore 64 as well. So you can see that one's an okay one. That one's the broken one. So I just need to replace that. And then you've got the little bit of conductive material there, like so. So yeah. So definitely I would keep, if this is a broken plunger, definitely keep the little bit of, because you never know. So I think you can, there are 3D printable ones, but I've never had any luck with them. So just very carefully pull that off, and you can keep that in your spares just in case you ever need it. So I need 3 key plungers, so I should hopefully have. So the way I've got spares of those is you can see that looks like someone's tried to fix that before. I've seen VICs with, say, but basically if it's a cheap VIC because it's missing half the keys, then I'll get it just to get the keyboard spares. So you get the spare springs, you get spare keycaps, you get spare plungers. But like I said, yeah, there's different types of, I think there's 3 different types of keycaps. Depending on you've got the original Petsky, then you've got these style. And then Euro style, I think is, I can't remember. And then you've got a slightly different font. So yeah, that one's okay. These are the broken ones. So I won't worry about those at the moment. I've just covered the little bits of conductive stuff. So I'll add it to my spares, chuck those ones. Right, so now it's just a matter of pulling all the keys out, putting them in and giving them a nice warm soapy bath. And then also, I don't really worry about washing the key, the key stems. But yeah, definitely give the plastic a good wash to get all that filth off. Okay, I'm getting there, almost done. I've been using just a key puller I got with a modern keyboard. So these are going to have a nice warm soapy bath. Don't lose any springs. Actually, one thing to note, so I've taken the space bar off, is that the space bar spring is usually different to all the normal keycaps. So you can see it's actually a little bit bigger. Sorry, I need to cut my fingernails. So that's the space bar spring there. That's the normal keycap there. So just bear that in mind when you're putting it all back together. That the so the space bar's got a different. So probably just pull that out very carefully so we don't break it. I'll probably break it on camera. So yeah. Anyway, getting there. So I'm looking forward to giving these a nice soapy bath. Actually, probably I'm just looking at these. I'm looking at these 3 keycaps with the broken key stems. I'm a bit worried that they might have actually glued the broken key stem in. So rather just gluing the key stem back and then putting the key on, they might have actually, because I have tried to get it out and it's not coming out. So I might try drilling a small hole in and then putting a screw in to see if I can pull it out. But yeah, otherwise I might not be able to use those keycaps. So have to see if I've got some of those exact spares or not. Anyway, as you can see, I'm looking forward to, there we go, get all the key stems out. Looking forward to giving that a nice wash. Yeah, okay. Hey, let's see how this goes. Much easier if I wasn't filming it. Just try and go in the middle there. Very hard to see around the around the phone. Kind of reminding me of drilling teeth. Okay, so we do have a small hole there, I think. Sorry, look, I know you didn't sign up to this channel because I'm a hand model, but I will cut my fingernails if I'm going to be giving you close-ups in ultra high definition of my hands. The least I can do is cut my fingernails. Right, so let me just try and find a screw. This might work. If I can see what I'm doing. Let's see. Is it big enough? We're going to find the hole. Maybe the hole's not big enough. Might need a bigger drill bit. I thought that was big enough. Where is it? Can I find the... Yeah, oh, there's definitely a hole. Oh, it's more over that side, is it? It's not really in the centre. Yeah, it seems to be slipping over, isn't it? That's the problem. Yeah, alright. So it's over to the side. That's why I couldn't put the screw in. Much easier if I wasn't recording. I don't know if that's going to work. So I don't want to damage the, that's biting. Okay, let's see if this works. Is it? Something's coming up. No. No, it's a problem. I don't think I got the... Yeah, I didn't get the middle of it. Kept sliding off. Alright, I will continue this, but that's the idea. That's what I'm trying to do, but obviously try and get it into the... Drill it into the middle. Not to the side, drill it into the middle. There, somehow. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be more successful. Whoops. I thought I would film it just in case. Alright, I've got to make sure I've got it in the vise properly. Hey! Ooh, okay. Not too bad. That's one done. Not too bad. That'll work. Okay, so that's number 4 done. So I've just got these other 2 to do. Should be okay. But yeah, same thing. Okay. 40 years of dust. 50 years of dust. Be gone. I might give it a scrub. So yeah, let's see the end result. Much better. Much nicer. So, time to do the keys. All washed. Time to rinse and then shake them all out and let them dry in the sun. Okay, last bit of cleaning on the case. So just get rid of the dust. So there's a little bit of kind of sun damage there, but otherwise it's all looking pretty good. So I might probably use a little bit of cream cleanser just to give it a good scrub. Top case looks okay. Just get into those little nooks, get the dirt out, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. Okay, try and get that little mark out. Okay, all clean. Let's see if I've got those bare key stems. Yes, I do. Just need 3. What other types do I have? I think maybe that's the main type with the VIC. And then some springs. Alright, so 3 of those. 3 springs. 1, 2. They're all connected up together. 3. Alright. That's my little rubber bits, wherever I put them. Save them, or they're over there. Add them to the pile. Okay, let's put the keyboard back together. The key plungers are back in. So I just like to just elevate it like so. So the key plungers will go in, sit nicely. One missing still. Really, where did it go? Where did I put it? 1, 2, 3. I thought I put them all in. There it is. That one's Looks like it's a bit thicker. Let's try this one. They look the same. Maybe it's just that key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might spray a little bit of lubricant on that one. And yeah, put the circuit board back on and put the keys and springs on. Okay, so we're ready to go. So I might do the space bar first, because remember it's got a different spring to the rest. So when I pulled the space bar apart, I left this side in so that I could remember which way round it went. Hopefully, actually I'll probably give this a little spray, maybe some lubricant as well. That should be okay. Of course the question is, I probably should look back at the video. I think it goes like that, doesn't it? I think it goes like that. Go like that. Oh no, it goes like that, I think. I always forget. I might watch the video back. So I think it's, yeah, it goes like that. I think that clicks in. Yeah, let me watch the video back. There we go. It's back on. Like so. Now it's just a matter of just looking at a picture of the keyboard and putting the keys back as per the photo. There we go. Whoops. Nice and clean, beautiful VIC-20 keyboard. Only problem is that number 4 is not the key stem's a bit, I don't know. Not too happy with it, so I'm going to have to. Now I've got everything in, I can, well, unscrew it all, but all the key stems won't come out, so it's just this one I'll have to have another look at. It's not, yeah, it's a bit too tight or something, so yep, I'll have to work on that, but getting there. So I was all prepared to use some very fine wet and dry to thin down that key stem, but seems to be okay now. So that dry PTFE lubricant seems to have done the job. So the number 4 key was one that was broken, so I don't know if there was some maybe dried glue or something in there, but seems okay now. Right, so keyboard is clean and it has been fixed. Oh, don't forget your shift lock, so I'll put that back together. Now it's time to start putting the rest of it together. Now, I might do the switch first. So I've got some switches from Jaycar. These are the ones I prefer. I'll show you in a minute. It's back together. It's looking quite nice. For the power LED, I might just replace it with a modern red LED. I won't go blue. So it's just a matter of just chopping this off and resoldering it. With some heat shrink, of course. One thing I've noticed is that the new LEDs, well, the LEDs that I use, I don't know if they're a little bit bigger than the originals, because they won't fit properly. I can't get them to kind of lock in to the original LED holder. So I bought a bunch of new ones instead. They're just 2-sided rather than the 4-sided originals. So much simpler as can be seen here. So that's a new red LED. Hopefully it's a bit brighter. Now let's look at the switch. So we get an old switch, original switch. Let me get the keyboard out of the way. So this is the original here, and this is the one I like to replace it. So it's a little bit wider, or is it height? So I just need to file out a bit of the switch, but I just think it's a much nicer action, especially when mounted on the L plate here. You can see it's just a little bit too big, so you just need to just file either end and it'll go in, and just once it's in, it's just a nice and then obviously solder some wires onto the board. So it's pretty close. So I'm just thinking what I should do. I might solder the wires into the board first. Well, I'll need to file this anyway. So, but I just think it's a much nicer switch. Anyway, so that'll do. That'll be originally a 15mm hole, and I think you've got to file it out so it's about 19mm. So about 2mm each side. And let's see if that's enough. Almost there. Yep. There we go. I just think it's a much nicer action in my humble opinion. So there we go. All right. Time to get the motherboard back. Looking much nicer, I think. Actually, I promised MrWaalkman I'd show him these capacitors close up. I'm going to get rid of you. You're gone. Yeah, so these are the, like I said, they kind of look like a surface mount capacitor in a glass tube. So I've seen them a lot on these Commodore VIC-20 boards, certainly. So I don't know if I can get much closer. Hopefully this is good enough in 4K. It's going to get blurry if I get... What about if I use the loop? Hang on. Let me grab the loop. Yeah, how's that? How's that for YouTube creator service? So you can get a good look at it there. Oops, sorry. Try not to... There we go. So yeah, it's basically like a surface mount capacitor. You can see it's kind of soldered on both ends. So there we go. Right. So what I need to do here is solder in some wires so that my switch can connect on, like so. And put in a new regulator, put in a new 4700 microfarad smoothing capacitor, and then I guess put the chips back in and see if it magically works, and then we'll figure it out from there. Okay, there we go. Get the light right. Like I said, I just think it's a much nicer action. So there we go. So next, where's the regulator gone? Here's the original regulator, LM323, and this is the... I only got one left. You're lucky. Otherwise there'd be a 2-week delay as I ordered some more. So these are the ones I use. These are the I think low noise or no noise versions. Yeah, I've been using them a lot. I like them. So there is no need for this massive heat sink. You can obviously you can put it back on if you want. Like some have suggested, it's good for stability of the board, so the board doesn't flex. But in my view, the board is kind of in place already. So I'll go in like that, I guess. So no, that's the wrong way around. Go around that way. There we go. Yeah, okay. So I think in this case I will put it back in. So first of all, don't forget you've got to put the cartridge one in first. Let me get this out. So I put the cartridge protector thing in first. Slots in there with some screws. Screws from the bottom, I think. Screws from the bottom. Yep, so I'll do this. And then I'll be back. 4700 smoothing capacitor, 4700 microfarad smooth capacitors in. Just go over to spray with some IPA to get off the old heat, not heat shrink, thermal compound. So what we want to do here is we want to screw it in and then solder the pins in. So let me just get the screws ready. All screwed in, ready to solder. I don't know if you want to, like, I'm just thinking of the other, like you need to, if you want to replace other electrolytics, and you need to do this one before you put this heat sink on. Then you've got the ones related to the AV output, and you've got the one related to the reset timer. So I don't know, I've stopped kind of just replacing all electrolytics as a matter of course. I might replace this one because it'll be a bit hard to get to once the heat sink's back on. Anyway, let's do the regulator and continue. Much nicer. Big improvement. My little MLCC friend. Right, I'll get rid of that one. I don't need the heat. I don't need the heat sink on the rectifier straight away. I might put the rest of the chips in and then we'll just see if it magically works. I'm not expecting it to. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? And then, yeah, I've got some other stuff I need to do. Okay, the board is basically ready. Power on the power supply. 9 volts. And power on. So yeah, still getting a blank screen. What? It's working. Oh, there we go. Magic. Okay, I don't have to fix anything. No, but I can do lots of improvements. All right, so it's working. Interesting. Didn't work the first time. Maybe just enough to reseed everything. Because the only thing I've replaced is the smoothing capacitor for the rectifier. That's it. Colours, so that can be adjusted by these, I think here. One of them is, yeah, I think that can be adjusted by those two there. I can't remember which is which. But yeah, I've fiddling around with the 6560 is something I've wanted to do for a long time, because obviously, as you can see here, it's a pretty shit house. Well, it's okay, but it could be better. Well, it's actually not too bad, but it's pretty washed out. I wonder if I can. Let's just adjust those to see what they do whilst we're here. Flathead screwdriver is here. So what have we got? We've got R7, or no, is it R32 and R33, or is it R7? No, oh, okay, well, let's adjust the one. on the left. It's getting darker, isn't it? I think that's adjusting, is that adjusting the black point or something? Not sure. I'm going to stick that back to where it was. The one on the right, maybe something to do with the sink. Oops, doesn't seem to be making much difference, does it? Put back to where it was. And then we lose it all together. Okay, that's something. Anyway, there's something to be looked at in probably part 3. So there's, like I have done 2 or 3 videos, or maybe more. Maybe 2 years ago now, about how to improve the heat and the power usage. So at the moment, if you have a look up at my bench supply, actually I'll just go take the phone out of the holder. So you can see it's just over an amp now. Just over an amp. So yesterday, I think it was 1.17 amps. And now we're just over an amp. And that is pretty much down to replacing the linear regulator with a modern version. So that obviously saves power, saves heat. Just from the top of my head, actually let's go back into this, to the stand. Right, so off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think. So you do get a lot of heat from these ROMs, original ROMs. I can't remember whether they're 23 or 25 series. I'm not sure, but you need to use a converter board to use a 27 series EEPROM. So you got basic. There is only one version of basic, although well for the VICs and stuff. But I guess there's other versions you could try and load in. I don't know. That's the firmware, so it's version 6 for NTSC. So you can put in Jiffy DOS as well. So you have 2 ROMs here, and so that's basically what this one here does. There's various ways of making it. You can burn the EEPROM and then just solder it into this board. And then you've got your switches here, so you can switch between Jiffy DOS and non-Jiffy DOS. Because Jiffy DOS removes the cassette routines. So if you want to use a data set, you can't use Jiffy DOS. So that's why you'd want to switch between the 2. So obviously you get a lot of heat from the 6502, so you can replace it with the CMOS version. What else? The 27 LS245s get really hot as well, the buffers. So you could try replacing them with, I think, a 74 HCT 245. They're okay at the moment. This is the character ROM. So I have tried. You can't use the same board as converter board as you can for the firmware. You've got to use a different board because this character ROM's handled differently. One of the things I've wanted to do is to swap between the C64 font and the VIC-20 font. It's something I still want to do. I haven't achieved it yet because you need a special converter board for that. 6560 generates a hell of a lot of heat. Nothing much you can do with that apart from put a heatsink on it and remove the RF shield. Freer airflow might help it. I don't know. I do know. And then obviously these 2 fellas here, the 6522 peripheral interfaces, replace them with 65C22s, and they drop to room temperature. So they're an easy replacement. I think I've got some, so I'll replace those. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so it is working. So I don't really have to do any troubleshooting. Really, yeah. That's why you need a heat sink on the rectifier. It's getting quite warm. Even though I'm only putting in DC, it's getting quite warm. So that's why I said you could just bypass it. If you put DC in, just go straight to the regulator and you get no heat out of this at all because you're not using it. But then obviously, like MrWaalkman said, you have to worry about the polarity. This way, you don't have to worry about polarity. I think that's it. Memory dump almost finished. What else? Let's try it with the yeah. Obviously, the other thing we want to do is we want to improve the graphics output. See if we can get an improvement on that. But that's for next time. Hopefully that was of some help. Sorry there wasn't much troubleshooting required. There's not much to it really. But yeah. Okay. Bye for now.